behind. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's
Well, we've awoken the beast and we've woken things that we shouldn't have around here. So why not? Let's get the Super Late Model cars here in the Monster's Lair. This is the Monster Mile itself, 1 mile in length, High Bank Speedway. And Super Late Models today of the Pit Star Racing Series are about to find out how tough and tricky things can get around here when you face the monster that lays within. Hi everyone, I am the Crusader, Christian Schreiber, joining you guys here today on the call. Great to have you all back on board here and have you all on the showcase here, as well as those that are traveling down here in Dover, Delaware to see the Pit Star Race Series in their prime with 2 races remaining in their championship hunt. It has certainly been a wild one to showcase and a wild one to be had, and one of them that has been a part of that wild part of the season with a few wins to his name. Oh, no guy by the name of the 26th. This is Daniel Holloway.
Hello.
Well, hello Daniel. How are you tonight, my friend?
I'm doing good.
All right. Well, look like you're doing okay and doing pretty good here. Although that helmet still kind of makes me kind of wonder, what are you wearing?
That helmet's been stuck with me, so that ain't going to. That way, somebody's looking in the mirror and they see my helmet, you know I'm coming.
Well, they definitely know you're coming. They know you are been one of those guys that's been up front and been putting these guys on a few binders here or there. But today, for you and this crew, what does the Kisses 26 have in store for these drivers?
Race the track tonight, so you gotta take care of that right front tire, and hopefully it towards the end, be there at the right time, and it's got a long race.
Long race indeed here. Well, nevertheless, Daniel, thank you so much for your time down there, and our best wishes and luck to you and the crew.
Thanks, and you guys have a good night and enjoy the race.
You do. Daniel Holloway, ladies and gentlemen, on the line here. We'll take it down now here and have a listen in with the lone female of the group tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Number 5, Chantel Throttle Pilot, joins us here on the line. Chantel, obviously no stranger here, running it out here at Dover Motor Speedway on the high bank track surface. How are you feeling so far with these super lates?
I find it pretty tight, to be honest with you.
Is it tight to the entry, or is it more or less kind of around the whole center of the track, you'd say?
Entry and middle.
Entry in the middle. All right, well, nevertheless, though, best wishes and luck to you there, Chantel, and see what happens on the track for you.
Thanks.
I told you guys she was a woman of a few words. She leaves it more on the track, racing it out, so that's how she's going to play it today. No surprise there, but a man that has thrown a few words around here, and he's not afraid to really bring it to some of these guys. Ladies and gentlemen, in the Drive 03, it is Cody Griffin.
How's it going?
It's going pretty good tonight here. Cody, how are you tonight, buddy?
I'm doing good.
All right, well, we heard the tighter, we've heard it a lot harder to control, and usually you've been known more for driving on the looser ends and really taking advantage of that. This being a bit of a tighter end, how are you feeling about that?
Well, It's loose. It's like this setup to me is like a loose tight. You got so much wheel in it coming off the corner. It's concrete. It ain't got a lot of grip as it is. And then, you got so much wheel in it that when you come up over that hump, it snaps loose, at least the first few laps. Then after about, I'd say 5 laps on the tires, it just gets tight. So I think probably restarts will be pretty interesting with everybody, all these guys bunched up and, getting free there on cold tires and whatnot. But if everybody gets spread out and can get about 4 laps, 5 laps under them, I think it's got a good chance to go green till the end.
Do you think that with the way the cornering is going to be as well, there are going to be some passing opportunities here? Or do you think some drivers are going to be trying to muscle their way through in some cases?
I don't know. It's kind of hard to say with the way how much corner speed you're rolling with these things. They're pretty wound up. So I feel like once the tires get some wear on them and everybody gets kind of spread out, I feel like you might have to kind of rough somebody up or lean on their door a little bit to get by them. So it ought to really be interesting. Normally I start from the back and work my way through the field, but I'm actually going to qualify tonight and hopefully stay out of that mess back there and just stay up front. Hopefully I don't have to use the right side of this thing up too bad.
For sure there. All right, well, Cody, you definitely got your hands full and definitely have some work to do around here in the Monster Mile. Best of luck to you and the team, sir.
Appreciate it.
Cody Griffin, ladies and gentlemen, on the line here. We'll take a listen now to the number 1 seeded so far here in terms of practice and scope. He pilots the number 6 Viagra machine. Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Blount now rejoins us here on the call. And Eric, I think it might be the first time we've seen you in a while, at least on the top of the spot in terms of practice-wise. Laid down at 23.50. How was the car feeling when you laid that one down, sir?
Oh, it felt great back then. I mean, when we first got out here, it wasn't too much rubber down. It was a pretty good lap.
Pretty good lap indeed. Now, I know we talked about as well getting that equipment dialed in. With how much practice you had over that week, how much time have you been able to figure and adjust to the new stuff?
Well, we still got to get adjusted to it. Right now, we still running some of the old stuff, and we got new stuff getting built, so we're going to incorporate all that in one and just come one time with it. And so right now, we're just doing the best we can, and so far, pretty good.
For sure there. All right, Eric, thanks so much for your time down there. Best wishes of luck to you and the team.
Thank you, sir. You too.
Eric Blount, ladies and gentlemen, there on the line here as we get ready to see him bringing it onto the track. One of the guys also ready to bring it down the track here. He pilots the big 45 right in front of Eric Blount. That is the 45 of Tim Williams on the line here. And Tim, right now, currently the car looks like it's in pretty good shape, although the times-wise in practice, not quite on par to the 5/10 second mark, but for you and the team, I'm presuming you're saving up some for the qualifying section, aren't you?
I most certainly am, sir.
Now, with that said in mind and really focus as well, I got to kind of ask you really, where would the track slate be for you in this case to really be running towards and running through? Because it seems like some drivers were running towards that middle and some like to kind of rip it towards the extreme bottom of the apron.
I think going into 1 and 2, it's going to be going in just off the bottom and then coming out at the bottom and going up. And 3 is going to be across the bottom for me by the looks of it, I think.
For sure there. All right, well, Tim, thank you so much for your time down there, sir. Let's see what happens as you're bringing it around the track here at the Monster Mile.
Thank you very much, sir. Have a good evening.
You too. Tim Williams, ladies and gentlemen, on the line here. Kind of listening to some of our other guys here. He pilots the big number 20 here, parked on the very front end of the pack here. Corey Coe on the line here. And Corey, man, talk about a field of drivers today and a track as well that's really more built or predicated around for these Super Late Model cars. Does that kind of give a bit of an advantage for you and the team to really kind of focus in on, or do you think it's going to be more of a challenge on just staying out of the wrecks or situations here?
Man, I tell you, Dover is just one of those crapshoots that you really don't know because it is so tight in the corners at full tilt. Like you're coming in just barely burping it, and you're slipping, sliding around. It's got a ton of banking almost everywhere around the track, and I think everybody that's watching NASCAR could see it literally with the TV shots. I don't know. Let's just hope there's room and hope we give it and give a little more than we take, you know?
We have a little more than you can take indeed here. Now, I'll ask this as well. I mean, there is quite a few drivers here and objectives to try to claim for top spots in terms of the championship scope. But for you and this crew, where does your mind lay in terms of points, and where are you thinking to really run it for these guys tonight?
I think early it's we're all going to be trying to position for a win. I mean, like that's why you crank the car up, right? Put yourself in a position to win. So if you can find the track position off qualifying, which I don't do a great job at, but I'm gonna try to do a little better tonight, to where I can have a shot at the fuel mileage if it goes long, or be up front if the caution comes out, or I can make a run at it, but not be stupid about it either, because I'm 4 off the lead with just this race and another one to go. I'd love to have that trophy sitting on my shelf.
Well, you certainly have the objective in mind and certainly have a thought and process to go for the win tonight. So, Cove, best of luck to you and the team today.
Thanks, man. You have a great night.
Yeah, too. Corey Cove, ladies and gentlemen, on the line here. Take it down now to a guy that has now figured a thing or two about winning it out on the track. Ladies and gentlemen, finally the big number 1, Jeff Clifton, joins us here on the call. And Clifton, the season's been a bit of a rocky one from the start to the end point, but nevertheless popping out at least with a win this season, being able to come through. How is it feeling right now at Dover?
Quite tight, to be honest with you. Track temp is I believe 120 right now, so it's gonna eat tires up tonight, and it's pretty much just gonna be trying to keep the car off the wall all night and trying to stay out of trouble. This track is very tight. If I start anywhere in the back, I'm probably gonna go for a more cautious strategy. But if I can qualify out front, you'll probably see me trying to keep it up there as much as possible. I'm hoping that maybe this thing goes green and I can use a little bit of pit strategy to maybe spread the field out a little bit. If I can get maybe, I don't know, if I get out in the lead, I would like to be 2 to 3 seconds ahead, just so I can ride it out and be a little cautious, because this track, it comes up on you quick in this car. So
Comes up quick on you as well, and we talked about 120 laps of this, as you mentioned too, about trying to last out as long as you can. But with that also in mind, I mean, you have to probably consider the fact you got 16 cars on the field and maybe more coming through the deck. How much will lap traffic be a factor, even if leading in this one?
well, in this league, typically the lap traffic doesn't come into play that much. Everybody's pretty cordial here. Lap cars do a pretty good job of staying out of the way, so I'm not really too worried about that. It's just going to be picking the right moment to pass them, trying to catch them in the corners and not on the straightaways, and just paying attention. And like I said before, keeping the car off the wall. That's the biggest problem at this track. You're going to see a lot of people hitting the outside wall coming out of 4 and coming out of 2. And if there's going to be any cautions tonight, that's where it's probably going to happen at.
For sure there. All right. Well, nevertheless, Clifton, thank you so much for your time down there, and we'll send it on your way to let you get ready to rip it around here in Monster Mile.
I appreciate it, bud.
Jeff Clifton, ladies and gentlemen, on the line. Well, there's only really 2 drivers left to talk to. The first one we'll talk to here is the mad scientist himself. He's returned back, the number 24, coming back from a little stint out for the track and out of the car here, but the roar of the engine too irresistible to miss, and he is back with us here. Tim, how are you tonight, sir?
Doing good, Chris. How about you?
Doing pretty good, my friend. Well, as I just mentioned here, obviously it took a little time to relax, kind of take time off from the vacation end, as well as get more suited up and ready for these kind of races here. How much pressure are you feeling here returning back here in kind of a cold slate?
I'm not really pressed, but this concrete monster is challenging and it should be fun. So I'm looking forward to it as always. Doesn't mean that I'm going to have the race I want, but it's always fun to be out here with these guys.
Yeah, certainly indeed. Now, also, we kind of mentioned before, and we talked about it a little bit, but still winless throughout this entire season, had some moments of chances to get it. Do you think Dover may be a little bit more successful for you tonight, you think?
No, I mean, unless I'm barring some miracle or the floodgates open, I just can't find any speed at this place. So this car, I love racing in. I'm just have a hard time finding where the grip is and finding the right line to run, it seems. But like I said, I still enjoy it. This is what it's all about for me. So
Absolutely. All right. Well, nevertheless, here, Tim, we appreciate your time down on the track. Best of luck to you and the crew.
thanks, buddy.
Tim Lee, ladies and gentlemen, on the line. One more to talk to here before we send it to the green. Gordon Larson Jr. now joins me here, the big 00 driver, bringing his Mid-South car back out on the track. Gordon, this season, again, we talk about it. You know, there's been many winners, there's been many different competitors. You're still one of those guys, though, we talk about constantly, that's been trying to get that monkey off your back, or relatively get a chance at getting it off your back. Do you think the Monster may be kinder to you than the others today?
I don't know. The car feels pretty good. I'm happy with it. It's not too bad on the long run, so we're happy with that. Kind of hoping, I think we can have another green flag runs is what we need.
The green flag runs and a little bit more stability on the track. I'll ask you this kind of too as well. I mean, you've got a lot of guys kind of focusing in on trying to take you to the limit, trying to push you to your limits here. How much pressure do you feel kind of going one-on-one with everyone today?
Yeah, early on, you know, I'm not even gonna give anybody a fight early on. If people want to go fast, we're just gonna move, let them go, and I think they'll all come back to us.
Sure there. All right. Well, Larson, you certainly have a lot of work on your hands here, so best of luck to you and the team.
Appreciate it.
Well, Gordon Larson Jr., ladies and gentlemen, on the line there, and that will pretty much wrap up our interviews here, portion for this race. So I got a few minutes left here before we enter into the stage for qualifying here, so I think it's about time we take it down to our little track tech talk. 1 mile in length, oval in configuration, and nearly almost square shape if you ask me. It's, if you honestly kind of ran it out those corners, it pretty much turned this into a square track. But that doesn't mean for 1 second this place is going to give you any breaks. Just because it's high bank doesn't mean it's still not going to be a tire eater. The right fronts and right rears will take an absolute hurt and peak down on this track for one reason or another. You can see even just a little bit of that black tarmac down there that's already ripped up. That's from the rubber laid down. Also the marbles laid up on the top side, just making it that much more difficult. This is a race in a foul zone that's going to bring out the best drivers in terms of how long they can last and how well they can go for. But for others here, it's going to really boil down to one thing, which is, can you control your nerves and stay out of trouble for the long haul? We'll have to find out a little bit as we come back. We're going to qualifying here on Pete's Race TV. Tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you in part by our friends at Fort Worth Screen Printing. Custom design t-shirts made your way. Only one brand name stands above all else to provide you the best product possible. FortWorthScreenPrinting.com is the place to be and place to go for all your custom tees and design needs. Also, big thank you to John T. Garrett Twitch channel there for their support. Be sure to visit them up on Twitch at John T. Garrett. Thank you again to both for their support. And of course, by Lightning Wrapz with the most affordable designs made at your leisure. Lightning Wrapz is looking to bring you the best designs in your library. So now, race fans, it's really that time again. Let's let them down on the track. Let's let them rip it out. 10 minutes of qualifying. It starts now. We begin our search for the number 1 seed and the number 1 of Jeff Clifton, as he'll bring that bad old number 1 Menards machine steamed up out onto the playing field here. Its first set of laps being put up. And you can see again what Griffin was talking about earlier. First few laps off that little ridge, that little hinge. That car will get extremely loose and it will try to fight you. Clifton just found that out the hard way in turn number 2. His first time not going to be a very good one, even though he'll have the fastest one. It was a 3.91. Remember, these guys were hitting times upwards of 22s there. If they can get the speed going, get the power up into the bars, it might be a chance here. Clifton looking for one more good lap around. And looks like Corey Coe also struggling, 24.16, 23.65. So actually, I should say the half of the 23s, which was 25s here. 23.5, but right now it's going to be Clifton, your number 1 seed, despite that little hiccup there. That's the field now laying down their laps here. Blount coming away 0.03 of a second slower. Gordon Larson Jr. going to try to chop that off a little bit. Faster time coming off down through 3. Through turn number 4, though, is time. That'll put him at 23.72. Not enough. Eric Blount, though, has moved in 23.58 for his final qualifying time. Cody Griffin jumps up as well. He throws it onto the fight zone. 23.55. Griffin is your new leader here. But up next here in the River Bottom Raceway, Lightning Wrapz, number 5 Chevrolet. It's going to be the throttle Chantel Bottle. Again, so many things happening at once here. It's kind of hard to jump back and forth between drivers, so we try to jump in where we can and try to go for who we can get here. And already a little bit of trouble down there. Chantel trying to avoid trouble anymore than she already has. Takes damage, though. That will certainly slow down her pace a little bit. As even DJ Mitchell has had a little bit of a problem down there. Got a left rear kind of cornered off worse than the other. I think it might have slight damage there from the initial impact last suffered there from a wreck. Mitchell and Pottle both coming back on out. I don't believe Pottle actually did get started on her first lap, so keep an eye on her for the moment. She's going to need to regroup and recenter, though. Down the front straightaway here, going to lead it down. This time, going to be a little bit more above the apron rather than getting down too low. She pulls it up just a little bit. Great aero speed there, coming down off the exit. She manages to diamond it off, apexing it right on the bottom of the intersection there. Swings it right back up, and that won't count either. Slams the wall, loses in the corner. And the 5s run will not count, unfortunately. A tough break there for her. Steve Rada, Team Williams, and Blake Trawick and Lee Norton have also entered onto the track. DJ Mitchell going to try to lay down his time. Time to be 23.53. Cody Griffin is your fastest driver so far. Trawick, former winner as well in the 0.56, laid down 23.75 for his first time. He'll go 6th spot. Mitchell with the 4th fastest. He will go 23.67. Tim Williams going to go 23.72 for now, down 23.60. That'll put him in the 3rd fastest bracket. They had a pretty good little qualifying time there, laid a pretty solid little pass. Todd Boson at 31 right now, trying to get some run, trying to get some momentum up on the corners and up on the turns here. Down him through turn number 3 into turn number 4. His time is 9th fastest, 23.75 for his qualifying run so far. The Village Bank trying to bring the cash flow and all the money that it goes. Better corner off turn number 4, maybe not so much. 23.70 will be his time. Daniel Holloway, his first time is in the 6s, 23.63 for the Kirsty Kisses 26. Trying to hang on though. He knows he's got a lot of time left here, but he's going to try to make another run for it. Going for broke here off of turn number 4. Good drive off his time. That will be 23.68. Not quite enough to topple the 6.3 he laid down earlier. So the field now has set the times in motion, has set the time in range here. Unfortunately, a couple of them not able to get the cars off of the track without spinning them out. Lee Norton had a little bit of trouble there and ended up getting himself a 24.24, so that will put him somewhere in the back of the pack. Len McNeese also having some mechanical problems down there, couldn't quite get the car up and running. Ray Radford, Michael Pratt, Douglas R. Johnson, Chantel Pottle, and Tim Lee also having mechanical failures or troubles through the corners. Well, right now, currently, everything in a little bit of a controlled slate, bit of a controlled time. Take a quick little commercial break here and let the drivers get centered off, and then we'll see if there's any more that pop on the track.
When you need the best designs in your fleet of vehicles, there's only one brand name that many trust in. One that makes every car pop out from the rest of the field, and that is Lightning Wrapz. Be sure to check us out on Facebook at Lightning Wrapz. Get yourself a vehicle unlike the rest. Lightning Wrapz, the most affordable designs made at your leisure.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here right now, currently, no drivers have came off or down around the pit road sector here. We have 2 minutes left on the clock here. I don't expect really very many others to do this at this point. I presume right now, if I'm looking at everything kind of speculating down on the track here, I would say Cody Griffin, Eric Blount, Tim Williams, despite being your top three, Griffin to me is got the strategy of trying to get away early and try to hold on for as long as he can. Whereas everybody else, I would say, probably they're going to focus highly on trying to preserve and maintain a good grip and a good run, keep the RPMs up high, and hope for the absolute best out of their equipment here. So, and that's going to be a very difficult little subject matter, though, and a very tight little end of the broadcast, I will say, because 120 laps, not an easy challenge, but at the same time, it's not a hard sell, if you ask me. If anything, it's really going to boil down to just staying out of trouble. Granted, I've only been able to run Dover so many times in my career. I've only had like 3 or 4 starts here. One was in Xfinity, one was in trucks, one was in Honda Civics. Long story there. And there was like one other start, I think. It might have actually been Cup just for funsies back on NASCAR Heat. But that's the only times I've ever actually ran this track. And I can tell you, not my personal favorite. I never really liked this track, but at the same time, I don't really hate it. It's just a track that, frankly, I'm just not acquainted with and I'm not accustomed to. So I guess that's the best way to put it. So, but that's just my opinion. You guys let me know down in the comment section below. I do read these and I do try to keep up with everybody. What do you think of Dover Motor Speedway and the Monster Mile? To me, it's really a track built around history and its predecessor, and it's definitely a driver's endurance level track for all the right reasons. And I think these guys are about to find that out and then some. So, it's time to end up the qualifying. We're heading to the race. Get ready for it all. Time for the Pit Stall Racing Series! Yes, indeed, it is now. The time has come, race fans. Presented by Fort Worth Screen Printing, here is the starting lineup for this 120-lap A main event. On the pole, in the 03, it'll be Cody Griffin. On the outside, at number 6, it'll be Eric Blount. And row number 2, Tim Williams will pie the 45. The outside of the number 26 is Daniel Holloway. Row number 3 is going to be Jeff Clifton. And the number 15, the outside, and number 61, it is DJ Mitzel. Row number 4 will be Corey Coe, and the 20 outside. And the 31, it's Todd Poston. Row number 5 is Gordon Larson Jr. In the 00 to the outside. In the 056, Blake Trawick. Row number 6 is Steve Rada. In the 80 outside. In that number 85, it's Lee Norton. Row number 7 is piloted by Tim Lee. In the 24 the outside. In the 77, it's Michael Pratt. Row number 8 is Douglas R. Johnson. The 13 the outside. In the 5, the throttle Chantel Bottle. And finally, row number 9 in the 84, Len McNeese. On the outside, in the 47, Shotgun Ray Ratford. The time has come. 120 laps to the distance. Fuel injected, throttle rhythm, heart pounding, hearts momentum stopping action about to be thrown your way here on PTM Racing TV once again as the Pit Stall Racing Series is back in town and back in action. And man, oh man, did we miss them last time they were out here. Of course, Richmond Raceway. What a performance by everybody out there, having to just endure and get by the craziness that mixed in. And I'm not gonna lie, it was probably one of my less happy calls, I guess you could say. Not kind of like happy Harvick, but just happy in general on at least the final lap. You guys can go back and watch it for what you see what I mean. But nevertheless, it's gonna be a good show here with a good wild little action. Green flag is out at Dover. Well, Griffin did exactly what he said he was going to go out and do, and that's take early advantage. Scraping the wall up a little bit out of the gate. Eric Blount already having a little piece of it. Daniel Holloway driving it by up, allowing the door to be open for the number 1 at Clifton. This is something you'll see a lot of today as well. It's just a single file, single car draft end. There is not a lot of passing opportunities here. And for good reason. Really, it boils down to just trying to outmaneuver and trying to outrun the field when you can, trying to find openings when you can get the chance. Wait for your opportunity and then make your move when the time comes and hope for the best. And that's exactly what these guys are up to here. Firing them on down here off of turn number 2 though. Blake Treywick and the 056 and the 5 Chantal bottle going to go at it a little bit. Treywick opened the door up and lets the throttle on by. Gordon Lawrence Jr. playing right behind that 056 of Treywick here as we go on board here. And you get to see too that focus you have got to have just to get it this close to that edge without going under the apron here. Extremely just completely hungry and consuming in terms of just staying out of problematic zones here. Down off of turn number 4 here, though, you can see the big battle going between Williams and Clifton. Clifton trying to hard to make a run for it as the Marconi setup shot. BK Racing Paints of Williams here trying to hang on. Hanged on to that one though as he fights off Clifton. Holloway getting himself a nice little look inside as well, trying to see where he can really bring it to him. One thing too they got to be really careful of is not getting anywhere near those wall protections. Again, it may look like it'll be a little bit of a safer barrier, a little back off on the hit. The downside of that is it still will not save you under immense pressure in immense circumstances here. It's still an extremely difficult ride to have and really a troublesome place to be at here. One little hit on that thing and your car could be upside down in a matter of a second. Cody Griffin back down a little bit in the corner here. Has allowed the number 6 of Eric Blount to get him up to the front. Taking it a little bit easier here. Oh my, not taking that easily though. A little bounce slack there on Blount. Williams catches the 6 just in the right corner. The bump and run nearly working to great effect, but I don't think that's what he had in mind there. Blount definitely got to be looking over his shoulder a little bit more now, just thinking, who the heck's trying to do this to me? Oh, and a little bit of that side fender action going there. The number 1 of Clifton puts a side skirt to the 45 Williams, rubbing his racing, and it also comes with short track racing. Both guys able to come out clean from it, but again, they're still early. They cannot overdo it here. Eric Blount, though, look at this, takes full advantage despite that hit and despite the damage. He finds a way to get around Griffin. Griffin may have overdrove a little bit out of the gate and has given up too much time. The Hershey's Kiss is 26, having a little fun there with the hey, kiss this in the background there of that bumper. And Griffin now feeling the wrath of what it's like when you lower your scar just a little bit or you overdo yourself out of the gate. Pressure mounting and building on. These riders right now trying to find openings when they can, trying to find areas to kick up with. Now the rule of thumb has always been if you give your line up, then that driver now has the right to take it back. which you yourself, you need to make sure you don't get too close to them or too over the top. That's kind of the cardinal rule, or the racing rules we've always said. Now, how many people actually follow that rule? Well, depends on what time, day, and situation, and who it is. Just being real with you guys. We've seen a lot of guys here and gals also just kind of force their hand on some drivers and really force themselves onto others when they really feel it's necessary to make that move, make that drive. Douglas R. Johnson there scraping the wall down on turn number 2, though. Slight damage there, kind of forcing his hand a little bit as Michael Pratt and them stay out of the way of trouble here. There's problems with 26. Daniel Holloway comes to a gridlock stop off turn number 1 here. Something going majorly wrong for the 26 camp. And that first caution is going to bring us to our first live-in look presented by Fort Worth Screen Printing. And it looks like for the old 26, he found himself trapped between a rock and a hard place. DJ the Missile Mitzel gets a piece of it too. Holloway can't be too thrilled about that, suffering some damage on the front of the nose from the initial contact there. And we'll take a look at it from the chopper cam as well. Go looked like he may have just got a little too aggressive. Caught the 26 off guard, and as he was trying to fight him off in the corner, had nowhere to go. Yeah, you can see Holloway trying to close that door right off from him, and I don't think Cole was having it, but at the same time, he wasn't trying to get that close to him, but I think it may have ended up just kind of playing out that way. Ray Radford, the 47, going into pit road with the rest of the crew here. Only driver that stayed out will be Gordon Larson Jr. So the field now entering into pit road, race fans. This gives you a good little live look in here. Hey, look at some birdies. They're flying over the top of the speedway. Look at that. What a beautiful sight, I say. Well, anyway, bad accents aside. Going off pit road, the throttle shuts up. I look like just taking some fuel here, actually. And meanwhile, everybody else looks like they will take fuel, and that will be it. No tires for any driver yet. Damage definitely getting repaired up on Daniel Holloway's car here, though. See if we get a live look in there. I think it might have took a full damage repair model. It took an instant repair, as we like to call them, or IRs. Yep, he certainly did indeed. That is a full instant repair cleanup for the 26. But we talked about it at the top of the hour. We talked about it at the top of the show here. Gordon Larson Jr., one of the only drivers yet to have brung it to victory lane, yet to have been able to take it to the top spot and get that win that he's been looking for. I think, honestly, he may be finding it sooner rather than later the way he's performing right now. But again, he still has a lot of pressure to get through here. Field right now currently getting squared up, back in the pace, back on the track here. A lot of drivers right now keeping close proximity themselves, but also probably just thinking about the overall situation, the all circumstance here. I mean, this is one of the only races this season, again, they get to ride around pretty much in more of a track based around for these super late model cars. Again, these cars usually are designed towards tracks like Hickory Motor Speedway, Iowa Speedway to an extent. Probably going to be looking more towards around like IRP. If you really want to go crazy, they can work well on those quarter miles, like the LA Coliseum. A lot of things in there that just show you how tough it is to mix and match and fight your way through it all. Off corner number 3 to turn number 4, ladies and gentlemen, here we fire him back on down. Green back out here for the Pit Stall Racers. Well, the fabulous Hudson Horn, number 20, and Corey Coe going to go one-on-one there with the 5, as right now Pottle tries to hold them all down. Coe drifting up a little bit, catches Lee Norton there on the side there, right rear. Getting the 85 just a little bit from Coe. And Corey right now probably just trying to avoid letting Norton get him too close to it. Battle up front though. Clifton right now moves the chains up ahead of Gordon Larson Jr. as Cody Griffin also tries to get himself through there. Remember Clifton, he's already got a win in this season. He's looking to try to add another one to his resume. Will a modified kind of driver, the modified driver here trying to show that he's got talent in the super lates as well. I would not doubt him by any means here, but I mean, at the same time, pressure always mounts and builds over time, and he knows it too. As he fights off Gordon Larson Jr. back there, the double O. Tim Williams is currently pushing his rev limiter to a high standard. One-sixth of the way done so far. And it's been a battle of who can kind of get the early advantage and then hang on, or who can slide the early jump and then focus on the rest later. Crowd of over 50,000 in attendance today here. Race fans are going across the lakes, across the East Coast to the East Bay. Wonderful facility, beautiful, staffed on hand. Absolutely love to see it. Thanks so much everybody for tuning in tonight. Certainly means the world to us that you were able to come on board, come onto the show. Also, those that are watching here on Pizza Race TV, thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, like and follow us up here on Facebook. Head to our YouTube, subscribe there for more great content. We'll be presenting you guys some more action, more thrills, spills, and chills throughout this time of the day. The Raider right now having some problems though. Keeping it out of wall protection. Raider in the 8R having a little bit of some troubles there in the corner and kind of having some troubles around the track. Or wait, is that the excuse me, the 8FL? I'm sorry, not the AR. I keep forgetting it's got an 8. I keep forgetting there's an FL on that top there on the side. I always keep thinking it's AR, but it's not. Well, this guy knows a thing or two as well, the Missile, DJ Mitzel. We talked about him plenty of times here in the show too. He brought that Pontiac 61 into victory lane this season. He did it a little bit earlier on in the season, but he has been one of the other drivers that's been able to win it out when it mattered most and really perform when he needed to as well. Been taking a great little class in terms of scope, in terms of how he races every position, every fight for survival. He's going to get another one here as he crosses over the 85 of Lee Norton. Norton opened the door up and like a thief in the night, or excuse me, yeah, Norton opened up the door and then of course like a thief in the night, Mitchell just kind of swung his way right into that pack there, so. Great onboard shot right now between the battle between Todd Poston and Blake Treywick. These two have got some history to their name. Todd Poston earlier this season becoming the first winner of this crazy new ride. We saw that brought these drivers in and out to the high banks, to the low banks, to the fast tracks, to the fastest impact of tracks. Getting another look in again as Mike Traywick came in a little bit later this season, but boy, did he really make a jump and make an impression. Only a couple races in, and he came away with the victory as he brought the Fanatec Mustang 056 machine right into the front. Taking a ride to the front. We'll charge back up to the front here. This is your battle for the lead. Fenders put together. Side skirts melted down. Everybody right now desperately trying to get the better of the other. Clifton right now, in my opinion, a bit of a bad spot here because, again, he's going to have to try to drive extremely more aggressive than Griffin just to keep momentum up. Oh, and also when he gets bumped in the back there, he gets a nice tag from Tim Williams. Both drivers still in control of their own destiny. Clifton has a slight advantage, though, because he's on the outside. He actually controls where Griffin needs to go to get the most speed out of his car. But at the same time, being that close together, that's close to in between each other, you don't have much room, don't have much of an angle to get around it. And the more they keep out, the more they're letting other drivers sneak up on them. Larson Jr. and Bottle is also coming right to the field here. Oh, hold on down there. Look out. Trouble. Oh, my. Jeff Clifton spun for a bit, and Tim Williams gets clobbered by him for his trouble. Oh, my. Tim just completely hounded. Oh, jeez. Michael Pratt almost getting a piece of them there. I don't really sure know where he was going. Let's take another look at it here. It looked like Tim might have got a nudge on Clifton before he took the absolute heater. Drove it in deep here. No contact made there. Clifton saved it. I don't know where he thought he was at, but he did get the Rev 11 Esports 35 there, and the BK Paints machine gets scratched up a little bit. I don't think the designer's going to want to try to clean that up later, but hey, who knows. One more look at it. Well, from that angle, kind of hard to tell, but I presume he got him there one way or another. I don't think it was Netco that got him. Either way, he was close enough where I would have considered it a full-blown little bump and run. I don't think that's what Tim had in mind, though. Drivers back in and out of pit road here, and it looks like we're going to have top five: Mitzel, Griffin, Blount, Clifton, Pottle. That's the top five coming in and out. Oh, by the way, Chantel Pottle, 11 spots up so far in this race. Started back in 16th. She is moving the chains through the field. Robert Kahn saying, go get him. Chantel Bottle on the call here. Robert, thanks for tuning on in here tonight, sir. Used to seeing him usually out racing with some of them folks that are on the track right now, and even in this league. Haven't seen him in a while here, but certainly hope one day we'll be able to catch him back out here. TJ Mitts are going to go back into pit road. Cody Griffin will be our new leader yet again. Now, for those that are wondering if you want to start this race here, there's two ways you can do it. You can go the inside and get a good run, or you go the outside and you have to make sure that inside stays low of you. My personal take is I'd rather stay on the inside because at least you can control how you center the car off to get the most power off the restarts. Versus being on the outside, you actually have to really kind of feather the throttle a little bit more just to get the car to take a set for the first laps. Still a little bit less power, but still can be controlled. It's just very difficult, in my opinion, to do it and get it done just right. Field will march their way on around here off the distance down the backstretch in turn 3. The 03 of Cody Griffin and the 6 of Eric Blount right now getting ready to pound and ground down this track. Down through corner number 3 to turn number 4, race fans. We're going to bring him back out of the gate into the green flag high in the air. The Fort Worth green printing restart zone brings him to it. Tricky little start there. Looks like unfortunately the 5 wasn't quite able to get a good jump on, so she actually just decides to cave in the bottom, and good smart move there from her end, and everyone else paying close attention to it. But that's going to work the 8FL and the 31 of Todd Poston here. Steve Rada, the 8FL driver right now, trying to get a good run on Poston. Throws one right off on him there in the right rear corner, catching it just a little bit on the left front fender. Not a whole lot of room to pass, not a whole lot of room to make mistakes like that. And you can see again, every driver right now, strength and numbers and strength and speed, putting it to the floorboards. Hershey's Kisses, number 26, maybe trying to sweeten some days up and sweeten his days specifically up. Got trapped earlier on there between him and Corey Coe. But since then, almost kind of throwing it a bit of a 180 here. He's gone from the very back to the front a little bit more. Steve Rada into the wall protection. Massive problems there. Saw it coming right out of turn number 4. And that big Eagle chassis machine just did not get out of that wall in time. Now he's going to have to find a way to kind of regroup, recenter, and hope for the best. Back up to the front though right now. This is your battle for the lead between Clifton and Griffin. These two have had words before. They do not seem to mind each other very much when it comes to the racing scope. They may be a little bit more cooler off the track, but when they put those helmets on and don the suits and throw the car out on the track, it's almost like watching two gladiators just throw the sword and throw the shield. Whichever one can block or take the hit first usually can win the race out. But in this case, they got a little bit of a leash side to deal with here, so not only do they find themselves, but they're fighting the terrors that the track has already given to them. You see the focus and the determination right there, just kind of staying smooth and silk through the areas and through the corners here, just trying to make sure all marks are laid down right and all spots are used up well. Eric Blount also right into that mix now, looking to try to carry him right back into the field. Blount was your second fast qualifier too here, and he's also had a bit of a field day and a half when it comes to scopes, trying to get the wins out. He's had many wins on the official side, but as for this league-wise, I believe he's still pointed at 0 right now. Would that change here today, though? Well, he certainly would love to change it and certainly love to make everyone kind of turn their heads a bit. Clifton and Griffin right now still hot on their trail, hot on their collar here. Bike looks like Treywick might be getting a bit closer up there as well with the boys to maybe make a run for it. He is staying right with him. Ooh, a little bit of a scrape for Clifton. And he gets it out of turn number 4 with 1 spot less. Blount moving his way up ahead. Clifton though trying to block it, and Grit and Blount struggling to hang on. Griffin knows the more these two keep battling out, the bigger chance they can get to really take control of it. Lingering down around the track right now here. Treywick still trying to hold him down, looking to the inside. Popping it right back up into the field. The number 1 of Clifton holds on. But he is not without shredding and scraping, turning this track into the lady in black, if you will. Leaving no prisoner behind, and leaving nothing on the table other than just a little bit of a side scratched up track and car. Giving you guys a little inside look here right now at Brody Griffin and just how much focus he's having to keep that wheel in just to make sure this car doesn't get too upset and gets too out of control. Seems to be working out well for him here, but it definitely also creates a problem in itself, which is how long will it work and how long will it go for before your right rears and right fronts become to be too much here. Blount trying to exploit it. So is the rest of the field. Gone, yep, that is certainly true indeed. I'm not going to say who, but you know what I'm talking about. I promised him I wouldn't give him the broadcaster curse. Running around right through turn number 1 though. Clifton getting another opening from Blount. Blount opened up the door and just like a thief in the night, swinging right back around. Or maybe not! Clifton, huge ride for the 1 there off of turn number 3. Oh my. Blount catches the 1 in. I don't know if he right hooked him and sent that Wounded Warrior machine there sky high or what happened. All I do know is he cannot be a happy camper. And I think he's being told right now that he is staying right where he is at behind Larson Jr. He had to get the car refired quickly just to make sure he wouldn't be able to lose too many positions, but unfortunately, we'll still lose a good couple of positions. Here's what happened on the PT minutes replay. Now, Blount looks like he's going to the inside, but then he brings it right back up trying to set the car up, and instead he actually takes the 1 for a bit of a joyride at inside wall protection. Very scary sight there, but Clifton really didn't suffer any damage or any reprehensible actions there, so he was able to at least keep the car in one piece. But my word, race fans, what a wild, wild ride that one was. Yeah, you can see he definitely got on the brakes quickly, trying to avoid the minimum amount of damage there. And I think that's what kind of saved that car from any more issues or problems. Field gonna hustle their way back out of pit road, and it looks like it's going to be Blake Treywick as top dog out. Quite a few drivers swapping out place here. Tim Williams now fired back into the top 5. Cody Griffin will stay in the 2nd spot. Corey Coe going 3rd, and Blount now into the 4th end. But mix up the mix-up puzzle around here. But again, we have to solve the puzzle somewhere. When we come back, Blake Treywick will lead us into the halfway point. Tonight's race here at Over Motor Speedway is presented in part by our friends at Fort Worth Screen Printing. When you guys need custom design t-shirts, designs, logos made your way, only one brand and name can withstand the test of time, and above all else, it is, of course, Fort Worth Screen Printing. Be sure to visit them up at fortworthscreenprinting.com to get yourself the most desired and designed up t-shirts and designs and decals you need for your time as well as John T. Garrett's Twitch channel. Thank you so much for them for their support. Be sure to visit him up on Twitch at John T. Garrett for more information. And by Lightning Wrapz, the most affordable designs made at your leisure, Lightning Wrapz is looking to bring you the best designs in your livery.
When you need the best designs in your fleet of vehicles, there's only one brand name that many trust in. One that makes every car pop out from the rest of the field, and that is Lightning Wrapz. Be sure to check us out on Facebook at Lightning Wrapz. Get yourself a vehicle unlike the rest. Lightning Wrapz, the most affordable designs made at your leisure.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Peak Team Racing TV. Bit of a wild little spot there. I believe we had 3 or 4 cautions already today. All by different drivers in different places at different times. But never without consequence or without a little trouble thrown their way. Leading him down off the track here, down through turn number 3 to turn number 4 here. Field gonna rocket their way back out of the corner here. Turn number 4 tells the tale, firing back through to the field. Speedway for the first time tonight is gonna have the race lead. As the sun starts to fade down a little bit, track temps will start to slow up a little bit, but that doesn't mean it won't be any harder to control. The Vibe moving ahead there of the 45 here. Tim Williams trying to keep up there with her, and right now she continues to hang on. Daniel Holloway looking back behind the field as he's got the missile, DJ Mitchell, running in it right up to him. Tim Williams, though, with the damage on that car there, though, is definitely feeling the pressure and feeling the power underneath him. Kind of in our blind spot here or there. Can't really get a good look at that 45. There he goes up top side, so he'll be out, falling back 2 spots, losing 1 to Holloway, then losing 1 to Mitchell. Meanwhile, Cody Griffin already catching up there to Blake Treywick. Trying to hang out with him. Eric Blount finding his strategy and finding his momentum here as Jeff Clifton probably looking for a little bit of revenge, if you will. Griffin taking over the lead once more around Treywick. Just a couple more laps to go before we are halfway done so far. And Griffin, in my opinion right now, has been just lights out. If he hasn't been in that front or the leader spot, he's been pretty darn well close to it. Pressure mounting and building up more and more. Griffin still trying to hang on. Treywick, though, knows that he's got to keep a close eye on him and keep close proximity to him. Lee Norton getting some company behind. 3 cars trying to catch up to him. Coe, Holloway, all in that mix-up too. Firing back down there, turn number 3 here. Holloway, big opening there from Coe and swings his way around. The 5 Chantel Paddle right now looking very carefully here at Lee Norton's rear end. Maybe looking, trying to find openings where she can on the inside, trying to corner it off. You can see them driving just a little bit below that black tarmac there, the rubber that's laid down on the track. That could be giving them just a slight bit of grip, enough to kind of work around and be pressurized with. Norton, oh, definitely talking up enough of a run here, and Bottle unfortunately slamming the wall down in turn number 4. Gives Daniel Holloway a chance to squeeze on by. Speed-wise, definitely one of the quicker races these guys will have on the season. Of course, next week, though, will be the complete opposite of that. We're going to Las Vegas Motor Speedway for their very, very final race of the season campaign. They'll be taking a little bit of a break here in February for what we're told, but we will see them back in March for sure. But nevertheless, it's been an honor and a pleasure to be able to call these Pit Stop Racing Series races for 2 straight seasons now, and just to see what kind of crazy, powerful racing and antics they can bring to the table, and almost get themselves in more trouble. Oh my. The AFL there of Steve Rita almost found out the hard way what happened with Tim Williams earlier. Oh, and he got to get a little bit from Douglas R. Johnson. Johnson and Williams, worlds collided. A meeting of the minds, if you will, between each other down through turn number 2 onto the back stretch. And then turn 3 is where everything just kind of got completely shifted sideways there. Both drivers are okay. Williams, though, man, I'm not sure if he's having a problem with the steering pumps or he's having some kind of issue with getting the car to square up, but it is not doing too well for him here, and he knows it too. Gap's strengthening out. Again, we've only had a run of like, I think about 30 or laps or so at the highest or the most. Actually, might not even, yeah, he might actually be about 20 or 28. But what it has lacked in terms of long run, it's definitely not missed out on excitement. These guys have definitely been pushing themselves to new limits and new worlds, and that's exactly what these super plates are all about. We kind of expected that though too here, as you see back in the pack, Johnson and Williams still going at it. Top 5 right now, going for broke. Mitchell, Pottle, Holloway, Trawick, Griffin, all in that mix. And for the lead wise, 3 of them for sure have a great chance to take it away from Griffin. And Griffin right now currently looks like he's going to get some pressure here. Side by side, fenders put together, the meeting of the minds once more. Griffin not having it down there. Trawick is almost dead set to make that pass, and he is going to get a good run off here. Forces him down, almost closer as they go. They are just putting it right in between one another. And now Holloway looking to try to make a run off here to get to Trawick. He's got Griffin on the outside, trying to build momentum on the inside, looking for the runoff. The Hershey Kiss is trying to tell the 03 to kiss this rear, to kiss his view and kiss his bumper, because he wants him behind there. But right now he's not going to do any of that. Griffin did not concede, nor did he want to concede to it. Bottle dealing pressure behind with DJ the Missile Mitchell. The throttle versus the missile. Which one will outdo the other? Bottle seems to have got a bigger run here on Griffin. Griffin might have been overdoing the corners a little bit, taking some trouble. Some spots there. Oh, hold on down there. Griffin, nice save. Oh my. Beautiful save by the 03. That car was gone, and he brought it right back straight at a 45-degree angle on the blower, making that turn. And almost like a pass in the grass, he just shifted that bad boy right back where he needed to be. Look at that. Bottle just barely clipping. He's gonna do it again. Oh my, Griffin. You, my friend, are something else, sir. He's at this point, I think he's just hanging on for dear life. I think he feels like he's getting abused out there, and I don't blame him if he does. Thankfully for him, now he can have a little breather. Caution is out. Oh, but definitely not the breather I think these guys were expecting in the background here. That is the 77 of Michael Pratt and the 24 of the Professor, Tim Lee there. The old bleeding of the red and blue and red, white, and blue, unfortunately ends up finding him in terms of a bad spot here. The 8FL, Steve Rada had to look around. Tim catches Rada, and you can see right here, really the bulk of it was Pratt and Lee taking the damage of it. But Rada was able to kind of start the trend and start the chaos there in that mix. There you see right there, Rada was able to somewhat save it. Had to back off, but he managed to keep it on all fours and out of trouble. Pratt, though, and Lee definitely taking a good chunk of the hit there. Coming down pit road, it's Holloway that's going to get the advantage here. He'll beat out Griffin and Mitzel. And Griffin and Mitzel have a little bit of an argument there on who should get where. Looks like Mitzel will outrun him there. Potter will come out fourth. Clifton's going to come out fifth. Top five now set. My, what a race today, fans. Double file back in right now. Field centered off center point. Would we be looking at the final restart of the day? That will be a question only these drivers can answer. Off the distance, in through the corners we go. Field parks them around, and it's back at it again. Coming right around down through corner number 2 for the missile. Trying to take down the man of the Griffin. 0-3 right now, Cody Griffin here trying to keep his hopes up. Daniel Holloway looking for another win. Remember, he at one point was going back to back to back and had these races kind of lined up for his own taking. Trying to do it again here, but he's got a lot of pressure coming from that 0-3. Griffin, slight opening, blocked though, caution, back out, problems. DJ Mitzel, major issues down there. The 61 tagged around. Not totally sure what happened there or what went wrong. We'll have to take a look at the P2 instant replay. Right around to the corner, look like Mitzel comes down a little bit on the 5. Shinto trying to back off, let him square up like you saw earlier with Cody Griffin. Unfortunately, Mitzel not quite going to get it squared up in time. Bit of a bad spot to be put at, too. And again, you've seen the she slowed up a bit just to try to get him to kind of straighten up. But if we look at it again, you can see right here, Mitzel was coming down. She was holding the line a little bit. And just completely lost in the corner. Treyway getting tackled there and kind of blasted a little bit in the back. Sends the drivers on around once more. Well, Tim Williams, Steve Rada, and Tim Lee are going to stay out. I don't know what their strategy is. All I do know is they're taking a bold risk. I think fuel mileage wise they may be a little bit short, but I don't think they seem to really care that much. Or maybe they could be just trying to get as long out as they can before having to go back in. Colin kind of sensing the same thing I did. Yeah, looking from the replay, it looked to me like he came down. Well, field is currently right now looking in and looking on at what could be bestly described as their chances of survival and hope now having to be put on big threshold. Just under 40 laps remaining here to go. Everybody right now pressured up. Rada and Williams, they're on colder tires, on burner fuel. They know they're the ones everyone's going to be trying to keep a close eye on. Green flag back on out. Pressure without a doubt on here. Everyone's staying low to the bottom except for the 5. Bottle getting stuck up on the outside here. Field will move way ahead of her. But she hangs on at least in that 7th spot, trying to get some run going towards the bottom lane to get there right there with it. Rada and Williams right now putting pressure on one another, looking for the lead in the win. Rada to the inside. Williams staying at the top, down to the bottom. The 8FL going for the lead. Rada for the first time today will take the race lead away. Williams, though, right on its march. Michael Bollinger giving us the green lights. Oh, trouble there. Clifton slamming into the wall. Everybody trying to avoid it. Oh my, that is a mess up and a big wreck ensuing. A huge pile up at turn number 1. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What on earth? What on earth? Everybody just coming to a dead gridlock stop, and I don't even know what the heck happened from there. That was a massive pile up here. Oh my goodness. We'll take another look at it here. I don't even know where to begin with this. Clifton gets in the wall. Griffin goes down. Pottle looks like she's trying to scoot through the gap. She does, and it's successful. Everybody else going completely out of their mind, it looked like. Eric Blount slammed in. Todd Boast, you see in the corner. Everybody else, oh my goodness. Oh my. Oh, what a violent, violent wreck that one was, race fans. And again, you don't see it too often or not. But that is part of the deal sometimes. There is the problem there. Blount goes in between, then he gets trapped, and then, oh gosh, oh my goodness. That's Tim Lee, you see there getting bashed up and damaged in. Good Lord, oh my goodness. I hate seeing it happen. You can't turn your eyes away from it though. Tim Lee thought he had the bright idea. They went 4 or 5 wide there, and trying to get that go into the corner there. It's just not going to work. It's one last look again. Blount seems to be okay. He has refired the car, so he is driving off from the massive wreck there. And from pit road wise, everybody getting out on their own terms. Radford stays out. Treywick, Williams, and Rada stayed out. Bottle went in and got out first. Griffin will be right behind her. Coe will be in that mix-up. Mitzel and Johnson. Arsal's ready, trying to get back up there. Rest of the field right now currently either taking tires or taking up equipment repairs. Either way, what a wild, wild race this has been. You really just can't put your finger on who's going to be the one over the other here. And in my opinion, that's a good thing because it really makes for a more interesting little situation where really anything and everything can go for it. So now what happens from here? What happens from here? 30 laps left to go now. Pit Stall Race Series here presented by Forward Screen Printing and Lighting Wrapz so far has been just pure pandemonium and chaos ensuing in multiple areas and multiple colors and differentiations. The variations definitely setting in and everything else kind of mixing it around. Now really what from here goes for broke, what goes to the final ending, that depends on these drivers. Green flag out again. And where do the drivers go from here? Those on that really interesting run strategy right now definitely going to be tested though, because here comes the heavy hitters. And Cody Griffin almost taking Tim Williams for a bit of a ride there going into turn number 3. Blake Traywick has got himself a lock on Steve Rada, looking for the race lead. Rada right now trying to hold him back. Flopping their way back down to the turns here. Clifton also making a run for it. Jumps in right ahead here of Larson Jr. and Douglas R. Johnson. Things could be going in the right direction, really steering into the good spots and in the right times. Much needed here. Down from the back stretch. Griffin trying to make a run here on Williams. Gets him back in the bumper. Bump and run time for the 0-3. And will he get the corner off of turn 4? No, he will not. Needs it off the front stretch. He does. Gets a great run into turn 1. Great driving there by Griffin. Hard running there from Williams, but it really almost wasn't enough there. But Williams gets door slammed and a little doorknob to doorknob. That one going straight into the driver's side, passenger side from Griffin. Straight to that 45 and 10 Williams. Williams can't be too thrilled about that. It feels like he may have been beaten and banged up a little bit tonight as well. He's been thrown for a loop and thrown for the wildest rides tonight, and he knows it too. Rada and Traywick right now still firing on all cylinders. Traywick looking for an opening, looking for a pass, looking for anything he can to get around that 8FL. 25 laps remain. Bowser, we're up on the front pack here now, thrown back into the mid-range, into the lower end. Difference in pit strategies, difference in styles being used up, and I think again a lot of it has to do with the fact that they're really looking at the overall picture. The throttle, Chantel Bottle slamming the wall protection down off turn number 4. Might have taken a little too much of a beating down there. Michael Pratt gonna try to swing his way in. Johnson, Larson gonna go out a little bit. Jordan Larson Jr., big run there on the inside. Johnson trying to make another run for it here. Pressure mounting, pressure building. Nobody is safe from the madness. 22 laps left to go. Steve Rada right now knows he's in the spot. He's in the chance of a lifetime. He just needs to stay focused. Coming from the outhouse, looking to get into the White House right now. Eric Platt, the bagger, number 6, and the number 61, the missile, DJ Mitzel, in the 61 Valvoline Pontiac, trying to get up in between there as well. Wow, trying to avoid any more crosses, trying to avoid any more chances of giving the guys up front a possibility of being able just to stay out for a longer period. Ooh, Pratt though. Well, he might have had a difference of ideas there. Nearly puts the fender and puts a little corner panel to good use. Both drivers stay out of trouble and stay in the clear. The 31 Todd Poston. Try to nuke it down there as well. Side by side, Mitchell, Pratt right now, deadlocked with one another. Poston though doesn't seem to care. Don't seem to mind or really care for either of these guys right now. He's gonna look towards the inside, look towards the run. Poston hanging on. Meanwhile, up front right now, not hanging on so much more anymore. Rada gave Treywick an opening in turn 4 on that front straightaway. Now Treywick, your leader yet again. Griffin right in the mix, into the fold. Clifton also just making a tremendous fight back, a tremendous run to the end of the distance. He found his way around, and now he's making everyone suffer for it. Steve Rada into the wall. Lost time, lost momentum. 17 laps remain. And now really this boils down to who can make the best out of the equation and make the best out of their situation, knowing that they've got to still find a way to run down the field or run down the track. Like Treywick right now looking on, looking through, maybe seeing if there's an opening or an obligation to get into it. Clifton on the back half, looking on. Griffin going right in low, looking for Treywick. And Griffin also getting into the wall, turn 4, they overdrove it. They're trying so hard and running these things on the ground, just trying to get that 0.56, but there's not so much room left to really boil down or break it down into. You just can't let that get to your head, though. You have to stay focused and make sure you're hitting your marks just right. Treywick's well aware of that. That's why he's being a little bit more controlled. And unfortunately for him, it doesn't quite necessarily translate to more consistent speed. It's just more consistent time. But he's still losing ground, still losing laps out. Down to the final, 14 laps remaining. Fighting him right down as well. Pottle able to stay ahead of Cove, Larson Jr. and Eric Blount there. Those guys right now in their own little deadlock, their own little fight. Steve Rada's gone to pit road. Trouble's down there for the 8FL in terms of fuel. He won't have enough to finish this one out. A gold strategy, but unfortunately not wise enough to hang on. Metzel, look at this. Missiles it through 3 and 4. Big drop to the bottom, big run to the front. And speaking of run to the front right now, look at this. Treywick passed by Griffin. Griffin able to get around him. Clifton and them going to battle it now for the lead. We're down to the final 11 laps. This time on by. Griffin able to make a great little dealing there around Treywick and found an opening when he needed to. Tim Williams going into pit road. He's going to need more fuel to finish this one out. Top 5 right now, separated out from 3rd to 4th to 5th. It's about 5 seconds to 6 seconds back. 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, only 0.2 of a second. You can see how hard Treywick is steering that car off right now, hoping for the best. Hoping for a break, hoping for an opportunity, hoping for something just to get around here. Lap traffic though right in front, that's Rada up ahead of him. Pottle also in pit road, so is Williams. Have Griffin and Clifton and Treywick also bit up a little bit more than they can chew on the fuel. That remains unknown. Very tough to call here, very tough to see. These guys know they're running on the fumest of fumes. And I don't know how much more tire wear they got left here. Bullets is saying 15 to go. Dover, well, Mount 9 to go. And look at this. Trawick. He's in pit road now. This is a major opening being thrown up here. This gives Griffin and Clifton some time to think about what they're going to do. But again, do they have enough fuel to finish this out? The field right now desperately trying to hang on. Griffin, though, has got to be hurting and probably won that fuel running. Larson Jr. staying as far as he can. Only one other time that I've ever seen here at Dover a fuel run go the distance. That was Pedal the Metal Racing League's Truck Series when they went a full 60 laps on, and it was a flip-flop of positions and drivers heading into pit road. Fuel mileaging varied and drivers varying on where they wanted to play him out at. Griffin desperately just trying to keep Clifton behind him. I don't know how much more he's got left in him, though. Does he have enough to just finish this out? He can then catch up to lap traffic. That's Tim Lee right in front of him. Stays high, stays out of the way. Michael Pratt next on the chopping block. Laying him down. Pratt slower than the other two. That slowed up Griffin. Clifton now another chance. Now go look for the inside corner. Is there anything left with 5 laps to go? Moving him down off turn number 4. Look for Griffin. Look for Clifton. Oh, Griffin into the wall. That slowed him up. There comes the bump. Oh, he gave him a massive bump and run. Oh, my goodness. Clifton gets Griffin off of turn number 2, and Griffin is gotta be beside himself. Oh, my goodness. He slips the wall, and then he gets slipped into oblivion. And the frustration that he has talked about all season and the aggression levels just got thrown right back at him yet again. And he is so desperately trying not to go into pit road. You hear him clutching the car and he's hoping for the best. But again, he might have to settle for the rest. Look at this again in real time. Came off down the front straightaway. Everything looked good, but that slight bobble, that slight mistake. And then Clifton, look at this, catches him off guard. Look at him just slam that gas pedal, brake pedal down, trying to save it. Clifton catches him again and sends him around. And I don't know if Clifton meant to get him again there. It's hard to really say. We were on board on the nose. Let's listen to the RPMs. I don't know, guys. You be the judge. That's all I'll say. We've got one green-white checkered attempt coming up, and Clifton is in pit road. His fuel is out. Lee Norton right now, I think he may be a little bit in trouble too. No, it gets refired. DJ Mitchell is going to be your race leader coming back to the line. Lee Norton, Todd Poston will be in the top 3. Those that were running low on fuel and running out of time, unfortunately, got trapped in pit road and did not have enough to get through the end of this. What a wild, wild situation we just found out here. Stephanie Meyer's definitely thinking what I'm thinking. Cody's probably thinking. Stephanie, thanks for tuning in. I know it's not probably what you were expecting to see there, but yeah, that unfortunate circumstance there for Griffin and Clifton involved there. We're going to have to see how that plays out in this end sequence with one green-white checkered ahead. Bitzel right now has probably got to be thinking in the back of his head, do not make a mistake. Do not let this car get trapped in any bad spots. Lee Norton desperately wants this first win of the season. He is so determined, so ready for it. Sod Poston, almost getting the broadcaster curse and the iRacing curse. He's had numerous attempts to win out in these races, numerous attempts to win on multiple occasions. The most prominent one has to be, without a doubt, Michigan International Speedway, where he dominated the entire race up till the last bit, where all of a sudden the caution brought him back together and he couldn't get out of that mess from there. He won at Iowa Speedway the first race of the season. He has not won since. He's been desperately trying to get that second one off his back already. Daniel Holloway going 3 in a row earlier on this season, looking for another streak to begin. For the final 2, Eric Blount looking for all or looking for broke. Has yet to visit victory lane this season. And that rounded out where we're going to be playing this out at. Tim Lee right now going to get his lap back, I believe. Or so he should. I'm not completely sure what the call is going to be made here. It looks like Tim Lee is currently trapped in that bunch there. I don't know if iRacing or the officials are trying to figure out what to do with him. If I was them, I'd just throw him into the back and just let him run. If he runs to the front, then he runs to the front. I would not put him there, though. Looks like they're going to let him go to the back. They have let him pass the pace car. So he'll charge it off to get in back behind line. I don't know if he'll have enough time to catch him up, though, and take a chance at this one here. Here we go, race fans. Something's got to give. Something's going to get it. This is your final start. The final restart to be had. Last chance. Last opportunity. Make or break your career there, drivers. The choice is yours. Off the distance. From corner number 3 to turn number 4. Final restart commences. Great start for Mitzel. Extremely good for Norton. And Norton looks like he might have a little more tire under there on the outside. Mitzel trying to hold him off. Norton, though, has got the run on the outside, looking for the win. Looking for it all. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your white flag lap coming off from turn number 4. Slight lead to Norton, about a half a car length now. Full car length, swings it from the 61. Does Mitzel give him the bump and run? Todd Post into trouble. He gets taken from Blount. Eric Blount has wrecked him out in the field in the distance. From turn number 3 to turn number 4. It's going to be checkered flag for the 85. Lee Norton wins it at Dover. Cody Griffin will go second after a big mistake from DJ Mitzel in turn number 4 to end this one out. Unbelievable. What a race. Lee Norton played his cards right. He found the right hand and shuffled it out. And he pleased the monster within. Norton is a first-time winner and now a winner here at Dover Motor Speedway, bringing the victory to his name. And on fumes of gas mileage as well to go along with it. I think he's going to try to give us a burnout. Let's see what he does here. Daniel Holloway going to go in third out of that one as well. Oh, I think he just wants to tell him, hey, congrats, man. You got this one. Enjoy it while you get them. I think actually Norton's not going to have enough fuel under that collar there. No, he does not have enough. So, race fans, here is the race results now popping up on your screen. A wild, wild ending to this one presented by Lightning Wrapz. Lee Norton will win this race. Cody Griffin going to go second. Daniel Holloway going to go third. DJ Mitzel goes fourth. Michael Pratt fifth. Corey Coe sixth. Douglas R. Johnson seventh. Eighth to Gordon Larson Jr. Ninth to Ray Radford. 10th to Tim Lee to round out the top 10 in this one. The rest of your finishers on your screen here. And these interviews might be a little bit spicy here, folks. So a fair warning. We're going to try to not have anything we have to censor out later on broadcast. But you never know too much with these broadcasts. We are live after all. So let's listen in here, race fans. Your top 3 now join me here on the showcase. In the number 26 today, the Kisses Machine kisses another podium. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Daniel Holloway. And Daniel, sir, my friend, you just had to pretty much strive and survive just to get to this point. But that last bit, you finally found the run and got a little bit of a seam to finish it here in third.
Yeah, I wished I went green flag towards the end because I had enough fuel, and I don't think a lot of people didn't. And I know I would have had at least a top 2 and maybe win it all. But I'll take a top 3 of this track. And patience was a virtue a little bit, and made it there towards the end.
Made it towards the end there, made a bit of a drive and a survive length there for the crew and the team. I know this was a bit wild there from point A to point D, but I mean, for you to be able to come away third out of all this madness, all this mess, I mean, how important was that for you and this crew just to get here?
Oh, that felt good. Like I said, we were racing more of the track than the competitors right there because saving those tires. And I know at the beginning she came up on me on the wall, so it kind of threw me up. Got wrecked there. So, but regrouped and saved some tires towards the end and finished good.
Finished good indeed here. Well, nevertheless, though, sir, as you walk away here in third today, who do you want to thank for all this?
I'd like to thank Tim putting the league on here and everybody watching, friends, family out there, and you up in the booth, and teammates DJ and Todd. They ran out of fuel at the end there, so they had a little bit of luck. But, shoot for next week. I can't remember where we're at next week, but I think one more race for the season.
One more race indeed at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, sir.
Oh, yeah, that'll be a fun track.
For sure there. Daniel, congratulations on the third place today, sir.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Daniel Holloway, ladies and gentlemen, going to go ahead and take third home. All right. We're going to take a listen in now to our second place driver today, Cody Griffin, in the 0-3. Going to finish, in his mind, a bit of a disheartening second place here. But Griffin, man, I mean, for the fact you had to come back where you had to come from and how to fight this one from the back half, definitely has to mean something to at least keep your points hopes alive and keep that championship in mind here, sir.
Yeah, I think about everybody else had a bad night that was in the points in front of me, so this definitely helps. I hate the race ended like that. I think the whole deal with me getting dumped there with 2 to go and screwing up everybody's pit strategy was BS, but that's something that race control is going to have to call and start cracking down on. So all in all, like I said, fought back to finish second, and it's disheartening, like you said, but in the end, it could be worse. It could be, I thought our race was shot when I got dumped there, and it just so happened all them guys ran out of fuel. I think the 31 ran out of fuel, and Blount got into it, and all them guys, which I hate it for them, but good for us. So we'll try to go out with the championship and try to hopefully maybe run some one-off races with these guys next season in the ARCA car. I know that's a fun car for me. So I'd like to come over here and at least run 1 or 2 or 3 of them. So we'll see what happens, but definitely going to try to go out with the championship if it's possible.
Definitely possible indeed with Las Vegas last on the resume here. I know it's been a bit of a challenge on some of the tracks for the 1.5 miles you guys have ran on, but for you and this crew, I mean, what is going to be the biggest focus you'll bring here to Vegas next week?
Well, I mean, try to race smart, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's championship night. Either you're going to win it or you're going to lose it. And I mean, if we come up short, it ain't nothing to hang our head about. We fought out adversity in this league all season long, and just stuff happening every which way on the racetrack this season, it seems like. So to at least be in position to have a shot at it is pretty special to me. So just try to go out on top. I mean, if we win, we win, and if we wreck it, we wreck it. That's kind of where I'm at.
Well, definitely give it all she's got kind of attitude here, and an NFG attitude as well. I think Dale Earnhardt Jr. said best on Twitter. But nevertheless, Cody, just come away second today, sir. Who do you want to thank for all this?
I just like to thank sponsors on the car, Kingdom Management. My girlfriend, she's in here watching the broadcast and actually watching the race at the same time. She normally works, but she was off tonight, so she got to watch the race. So shout out to her on the live stream. But yeah, shout out to everybody. Shout out to PTM for broadcasting. Thanks to Tim and Dave for putting on the league, and we'll give it one more hoorah here next week.
For sure there, Cody. It's been a pleasure to have you on board here. Good luck at the last race, and congratulations here today.
Appreciate it.
Cody Griffin, ladies and gentlemen. Gotta give him credit due. He definitely restrained himself on that one. But nevertheless, Lee Norton not restraining anything on his end here tonight. Norton brings home the victory, and I'm not seeing him in the broadcast channel here, so I don't think we'll be talking with him here. But nevertheless, Lee Norton, congratulations on getting that first win of the season, sir, and big victory for you and the team. And really, these guys out here tonight, man, they had thrown everything to the wire and threw all they got to the line, but it was just not to be. Despite all the chaos and all the madness, though, we've got one last race left to close out this season. But thanks again to Fort Worth Screen Printing and Lightning Wrapz, and a big thank you to all you guys out there so much for tuning in as well. New face in the house. Love seeing you guys. Hope you guys will be able to come out here sooner, and hope you enjoyed yourself on the show. For all of us here at Pizza Race TV, though, stay tuned for more. We'll be right back Sunday night here on the showcase, where, ironically enough, we're going to Las Vegas. So we'll see you guys there. But for now, thank you again for tuning in. We'll see you when the green flag charges up next time on PT Race TV.